Good morning. Happy Wednesday, February 12th. Trade review. This trade review is going to be a little different. I've decided that I'm going to sit in a penny stock and I want to see what happens. It may not go my way and I have to be okay with that. I may have to take a loss and be okay with the loss. But I'm going to go ahead and talk on this trade that we see here. This is Wind Tree Therapeutics. This one was my first choice. It was running really nicely in pre-market and my indicator signaled for me to get in. And I got in at 611 and got in at 26.25 cents. That's where I got in, and it did not go up. It decided to go down. Sometimes with pennies, it's always interesting to me with my indicators, but when I look back, there wasn't as much momentum, but my primary was there. So it happens. I mean, it'll do what it's going to do, and it wound up dropping. So it started going into a drop, and I'm like, well, longer charts were looking really good. And, I'm like, well, if I feel like this is going to do what it needs to do, I am going to stay in it. If I average, I may average a couple of times and then, kind of go from there. And I did average on this at 629. This candle here, I bought some more shares at 24 cents and some change, and that needed me to get out at 24.90 cents. And I'm like, great, I think that'll work out. And it just started dropping. It kept dropping and dropping. And I'm like, well, good gracious. So I did buy some addition. I did one more average at 716. This candle here got in at 23, it might have been 22 cents and some change, which needed me to get out at 24.16 cents. And I have decided I am going to sit in this. I would like to see what happens. There is probably 60% of my powder is now sitting in this trade. It might be 70%. It might be eight. I'd have to check the figures. It's between 60 to 80% of my powder is sitting in this trade right now. And that's a lot. And I'm down 27%. And I'd like to see if it will run back up. It was running yesterday when I looked at those charts. It got up to about 25 cents yesterday. Today it got up to about 28 cents. So I'm just going to hold it and see what happens. I've still got money to trade with, so I'm going to use the money that I have to trade with. And so I'm going to use that tomorrow. It won't be as much powder as I'm used to, but I'm still going to be able to trade. Even in pennies, I can still do it because I'm not using all of the money, but I will still have to make a decision at some point. How long do I sit in it? It's only so much powder. So that's going to, address my cushion, and the goal with the cushion. I may have to reduce how much cushion or how much I put into my cushion. I may not hit my cushion goal by doing this, but I'm just a little curious to see what happens in this regard. So we'll see. That's what's up. I did do an option trade and I did get a win in my option trade, but had to sit in that for a little while. That one took me, oh Lord. My option trade, that took about 20 minutes to get myself out of that trade. So it was kind of like, oh, it was, intestinal fortitude was there for sure. All right. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I am going to sit in this. I just would like to see what's going to occur. I will have to at some point make a decision as to whether I'm going to, take the loss or not. This one, 20, oh gosh, what did I say I was? 27%. And there's a lot of averaging here. So that's a lot of money that's sitting in here, which is why I'm like, boy, I need to see if this is going to turn around because it could be a larger loss with the averaging. And I would like to see if I can recoup a little more instead of taking such a larger hit. All right, everybody enjoy the rest of Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow.